this video we're going to talk about the materials that's covered in the very first lesson on the saxophone. First thing we learn about is which side of the case is up and which side's down. The side that's up has a logo on it usually, and then the bottom side does not have a logo. In case you don't have a logo, you might find that you have an instrument dealer plate right here that shows you where it came from, and you want to set it so that it's right side up. If that's not there, then the last thing to look for is the top side of the case is smaller than the bottom side of the case. You're going to put that on the floor in front of you. I'm going to put mine up on my desk, and then we're going to lift the latches and open it up. And the first thing that we're going to take out is called the neck strap, and mine's kind of twisted up. Easy to get that way if you're not careful. We're going to take this neck strap and we're going to put it on our neck, and today in class we talked about how to adjust the strap. Now once you get the hang of this, it's pretty easy. It goes up and down pretty easily, but that takes a little bit of time to get used to. I tell the kids to start with it all the way up, because once we put the saxophone on it, it's easier to make it longer than it is to make it shorter, because you have the weight of the saxophone helping to pull it down. So we start with it all the way up, and if you're having a problem with this, I show the kids that you can grab a hold of one side of the loop there and pull, and if nothing happens, you know you're on the wrong side, so you go try the other side. Aha! That's going to work. And then you're just going to put that back down on the bottom like that. Next, we've got our mouthpiece, which is in a little mouthpiece cover. That just protects the mouthpiece, and that's for storage, so we're going to put that back into the case. This is our reed. We want to be careful with the reed. It's made out of wood. The tip of it breaks really easily. You're probably going to break a couple here in the first couple of weeks as you're trying to get used to this, and I do sell more of them, so if you do break it, come and ask your teacher for another one. But we're going to try to keep our fingers away from the tip of it just so that we don't smash it. There's a metal part on the mouthpiece. It's called a ligature, and I also call it a reed holder because what it does is it holds the reed on there. Now, if you put the ligature on with the screws facing towards the right on most saxophones, it's going to be correct. Now, there's a couple of instances where they're going to go to the left. You'll know because if you try to put it on the wrong way, it's not going to go down all the way because it's bigger on one side than it is on the other. Then you're going to loosen it up, and you're going to notice that the mouthpiece has a flat side right here, and the reed has a flat side. The two flat sides touch together like that. Then I'm going to slide very carefully so we don't break the tip of the reed here. I'm going to slide that over it, get everything lined up, and then I'm going to tighten it up, and I'll show you two things to look for here. I've got it tight enough that it's not going to move around. Number one, you want to have a hairline of black showing over the tip of this. If you don't have that, it's up too high, you need to adjust it down. And if you see a whole bunch of black, more than a hairline, then it's too low. It's going to make it hard to play. Real important that we have it adjusted to the right spot. Okay, also we want to make sure that this ligature, the reed holder, is down past this little lip on the saxophone mouthpiece. Once we have that together, if we need to, we can take our cork grease. Cork grease is what we put on the cork right here of the neck, and we just get a little bit out, smear it in one spot, and then we can take our fingers, spread it around like this. You want to make sure you have Kleenex or something to help get this off your fingers, and that's how we grease the cork. A lot of saxophones are going to have a plug right here in the end, and we want to take that out and set it off to the side, put it in the case. That's just there to protect the hole right here. whenever you have the saxophone in its case so that it doesn't get squished. And you'll notice that the saxophone has a little ring right here on the middle of the back of the saxophone, and what you're going to do is you're going to hook your neck strap onto that ring. That goes on the saxophone, and your saxophone will have a screw right here that you can use to tighten it up. Mine's missing. If it won't go in, then what you need to do is loosen that screw. You're probably wondering what the other screw is for on the other side. That's for if you're in marching band, you can put a little bitty music stand on there called a lyre, and you can hold your music in front of you, and then you can march and see your music. So that's why there's two screws there. Alright. You're going to line this up so that this little bar right here on the back side of the mouthpiece lines up with this bar on the body of the saxophone. And that's how we know they're in alignment. The next thing we do is we talk about how to sit on the chair. We sit forward in the chair and off to the right hand side just a little bit, because this is going to go to the right side of your body. Now we want to adjust our neck strap, because if we have it too low, it's going to hit us in the neck right here. We don't want to bend over trying to get to it. So we want to raise it up. If we raise it too high, it's going to be up above our mouth, and then we got to do that. We want to get it just to the point where it goes straight into your mouth. You also want to adjust your mouthpiece, because if you have it crooked and you're going to be sitting like that, so you want to straighten it out. And here's what it should look like when you sit. You're going to take your right hand thumb and you're going to put it underneath this thumb hook right here. And then your fingers on this hand are ready to play these three buttons. Now you'll notice up here that there are more keys than I have fingers. Yours might be white, it might have one of these pearls like this, or you might have a silver one like I have. But we're going to skip the first and the third one. You might even think New York, New York. N-Y, N-Y. N stands for no, you don't play it. Y, yes, you do play it. N, no, you don't play it. Y, yes, you do play it. Skip the first and third. No, yes, no, yes. Also, you want to make sure that your hand is a flat C like this. One problem that people have right when they start playing is they bump these side keys right here with the palm of the hand, which makes some weird sounds. Likewise, right hand, if you're not careful, you'll bump into these right here, or kids might put their fingers underneath it trying to hold it up. You want to make sure that you flatten out your hand and you keep this part of your hand away from these buttons right here. Okay, then we learn three notes. Thumbs back here on this little thumb rest, on the black part right there. First finger is B, two fingers, A, and notice I'm skipping the first and third one, and then G. Bag, B, A, G. We learn how to play those three notes, and then we take it apart. And that's the first lesson.